According to the Annie E. Casey Foundation, in a study that they did a few years ago, 81% of 8th graders in Louisiana public schools are not proficient in math in the level that they should be. In addition, 74% of 4th graders are not able to read at the level they should be reading at by their age. And 21% of high schoolers in the state do not graduate on time in Louisiana. These are staggering statistics, and they pose a very imperative question of how Louisiana can change the school system to improve these scores. One instrumental strategy in changing these statistics is the inclusion of music education in public schools. According to the New England Board for Higher Education, music education is proven to enhance reading and comprehension skills, increase mental processing abilities, and aid in problem solving, amongst many other things. However, Baton Rouge has been getting rid of the funding for music education and has been losing the benefits that it can have on their students. There is now much less music education opportunities for these kids than before. And even when they do have music education in their schools, it's very limited access to classical education of any kind. Most of the time, it is just a very simple class with very rudimentary instrumental or music learning opportunities. And this is where Music Connect comes in. Music Connect is my organization that partners with schools to expose Baton Rouge's children to a day of well-rounded musical experiences from the Baton Rouge Symphony Orchestra themselves. This would be an education at a hands-on level that is unlike anything else offered in the area. The program specifically is called Noteworthy Learning with the BRSO, the Baton Rouge Symphony Orchestra. We plan on taking kids from a school, grades targeted at grades 1 through 8, and taking those interested on a field trip to the BRSO offices. On that field trip, they can tour the facilities, they can meet the musicians, talk with behind-the-scenes personnel, and even perform with the musicians in a concert at the end of the day, the instruments of which will be provided by Music Connect ourselves. So to give your minds an example of an average day like this field trip would be, first, of course, the bus would pick up the kids and bring them to the BRSO offices. Then when the kids arrived, they would receive a tour of the facilities. So they would be able to see all of the different offices and all of the rehearsal spaces that the BRSO uses in their daily operations. During the tour, they can also meet behind the scenes people and see what they do every day. So for example, kids can not only meet lighting technicians and the geniuses behind their social media team, but also advertisers, marketers, and owners, and interns, and everybody else who goes into making the operation successful, the people you don't usually see. Then, after their tour, the kids would get to meet the musicians one-on-one. We then would have a very informal rehearsal, which is less of a musical rehearsal and more of an introduction to the kids to get them to see every single instrument that we would offer and let them try them all and see which one they like the best and which one fits them the best. Then we would have the BRSO conduct a very, very simple, very short version of their daily rehearsals, and the kids would be able to sit in on this rehearsal and witness what it's like to be a professional musician in the day-to-day lives. Then of course we would offer the kids lunch, have them eat a meal, relax a little bit, and then we would follow up lunch with a Q&A brought to you by a panel of some of the musicians and some of the staff for the Baton Rouge Symphony Orchestra. Here, students and teachers could ask questions that they hadn't previously been able to ask about what interests them in the orchestra world. After that, the kids would get to have their concert of sorts. For this concert, the kids would be able to sit with their instruments in between all of the Baton Rouge Symphony Orchestra musicians and feel very much like a part of the organization and of the orchestra. Then the BRSO would be able to put on a concert for them while they sit with them side by side and show them how the orchestra sounds at the end of the day, because for many of those kids, it might be their first ever time hearing classical music in person surrounded by that kind of energy. Then of course, after the concert, we would bus the kids back to school in time for their regular pickup. Then our idea is to make this program into a series. We want to offer this to many different children at many different schools around the Baton Rouge area. To get to do this, we would have to talk with the school systems and the superintendents specifically. We need to first market towards these people to get them on board with the idea. We need the school to be willing to partner with us and to offer their people and their teachers and their resources to help us put this on for the kids, and to just agree to let us come in and teach their kids a little bit about music. Then we would switch, of course, to marketing to the children to make them interested in it and very excited for the experience, for their day with the orchestra and their day with the BRSO. There's a couple reasons that this program decided on this specific setup. The during school field trip, we believe, is the best option for the kids and for this program, because it can be very hard for the kids to find time outside of scheduled school to do something like this. Many of the children in this area have to go back home to help with their families or to help with previous responsibilities that they might have. In addition, a lot of parents are very hardworking parents, and they just simply don't have the time or the resources to drive the kids to an orchestra rehearsal or an experience like that on a time where they don't have school. Doing it during school field trips and busing the kids back and forth takes away the risk for any lack of transportation and opens the doors for a more wide group of kids to be able to come on this field trip with us. Music Connect chose Baton Rouge specifically, and the Baton Rouge Symphony Orchestra specifically, for a couple of reasons. As I said before, there is a lack of music education quite like this in the area. This is something unique that isn't offered yet. We also really wanted to specifically reach out to lower income areas that don't already have an established music education program like some other areas might be fortunate enough to have. Demographically, Baton Rouge, over a quarter of Baton Rouge is in low-income households. In addition, over a quarter of the population is under 18, which is our target audience for this program, so it gives us a wide range of people to try and target towards and try and work with. Baton Rouge is also located in one of the biggest music scenes in the world. The jazz and the Cajun music that is central to this area is incredible, and a lot of the kids have been fortunate enough to grow up listening to this and to grow up surrounded by it, and we at Music Connect love that. We really want to take that existing interest in music and drive it towards classical music as well, because classical interest is really the only thing that isn't readily available to these kids and their kind of knowledge of music genres. So we'd really like to introduce the children of Baton Rouge to that side of music as well, in addition to their love and of jazz and Cajun and pop music that they get exposed to on a daily basis. So for this program specifically, high artistic quality isn't necessarily being measured by the level of music being performed, but however, by how many children get to have an opportunity that they enjoy specifically. So at the end of the day, it's important that the kids come out of this with more knowledge about classical music and more knowledge about the arts world than they had before. And hopefully it garnered an interest in them to learn more and to want to explore maybe a future in an arts organization. So to summarize, Music Connect's overall goal with this program is really 3 different pillars. The first of which is just to provide musical experiences for underserved schools in Baton Rouge. The students have the opportunity to experience a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to create and execute an orchestral performance, which is a really rare opportunity that we want to give these students. We also want to inspire musicians through one-on-one connections with professional counterparts. Students being able to learn from and being able to be encouraged by a layer of guidance outside of their regular teacher is very important. As important as those teachers are to the kids, hearing outside influences and even more people to look up to can really help these kids be guided into the path that they want to choose. And finally, we also just want to provide access to used instruments to maybe create or supplement a school's music program. The ability for kids to try out different instruments during this day, we believe, is a really important part of it. We want to have the kids have hands-on experience and not just be bored listening to somebody speak to them. We want them to be able to know what it's like to be in an orchestra and to sit with them in the orchestra and what it's like to walk the back halls of an orchestral production. So it is with these things in mind that I present to you Music Connect's Noteworthy Learning with the VRSO. Thank you.